Part 4, The Unveiling. The Aftermath of the Gala. The morning after the quincentennial Harmony Gala, the Galactic Concord station buzzed with a mix of awe and unease. The events of the previous night had left an indelible mark on the galaxy's collective consciousness. Humanity, once seen as a curious but harmless newcomer, had revealed itself as a force to be reckoned with. Ambassador Leora Vance stood at the center of it all, her calm demeanor masking the storm of activity behind the scenes. The Security Council meeting. The Concord Security Council convened in an emergency session, its members representing the most powerful species in the galaxy. High Marshal Dravik of the Vulture Dominion, Councillor Nissa of the Methus Allen species, and Premier Delegate Axon Varric of the Dorson Technocracy were among the attendees. The atmosphere was tense, the air thick with unspoken questions. Ambassador Vance entered the chamber, her presence commanding immediate attention. She carried herself with the confidence of someone who had just reshaped the galaxy's understanding of her species. The presentation. Distinguished representatives, Leora began, her voice steady and clear, I come before you today to provide a full account of last night's events and to share critical intelligence regarding the criminal network we neutralized. She activated a holographic display, revealing a detailed map of the network's operations. The data was comprehensive, tracing the flow of illegal goods, the locations of hidden bases, and the identities of key players. The council members watched in stunned silence as the extent of the threat became clear. The evidence. This network, Leora continued, was responsible for trafficking in illegal technology, endangered biological materials, and sentient beings. They operated with impunity for decades, exploiting the very systems designed to protect the Concord. She paused, allowing the weight of her words to sink in. Humanity's actions last night were not taken lightly. We acted to protect the Concord and its citizens. But this is only the beginning. The accusations. Premier Delegate Axon Varric, their metallic filaments glowing with agitation, was the first to speak. Ambassador Vance, your actions, while effective, raise serious concerns. You conducted unauthorized operations across sovereign territories. You manipulated events to provoke a confrontation. These are not the actions of a trusted ally. Leora met Axon's gaze, her expression unflinching. With all due respect, Premier Delegate, the Concord's established systems failed to address this threat. We acted out of necessity, not malice. Our goal was to protect the galaxy, not to undermine its institutions. The defense. High Marshal Dravik, his feathers slightly raised in a gesture of support, spoke next. Ambassador Vance's actions, while unorthodox, were undeniably effective. The Vulture Dominion stands by humanity in this matter. Councillor Nissa, their skin shifting to a deep blue, added, the Methus Allen species also acknowledges the success of humanity's intervention. However, we must address the implications of their methods. The turning point. Elder Tovan, the ancient Tauran representative, raised a hand, silencing the room. Ambassador Vance, they said, their voice slow and deliberate, your species has demonstrated remarkable capability. But capability without accountability is dangerous. What assurances can you give that humanity will not abuse its newfound influence? Leora smiled, a gesture that somehow managed to be both reassuring and unsettling. Elder Tovan, humanity's actions have always been guided by a commitment to peace and stability. We revealed our capabilities not to intimidate, but to protect. We are not predators seeking dominance, we are guardians ensuring survival. The revelation. As the council deliberated, Leora activated another holographic display. This one showed the financial transactions linking several council members to the criminal network. The room erupted in gasps and protests. This, Leora said, her voice cutting through the chaos, is why we acted independently. Corruption within the Concord allowed this network to thrive. We could not risk alerting those who would protect it. The fallout. The revelation sent shockwaves through the council. 3 members, including Premier Delegate Axon Varick, were forced to resign. The Concord security protocols were overhauled, and humanity's role in the reforms was undeniable. The new order. As the meeting concluded, Elder Tovin approached Leora. "Ambassador Vance," they said, their ancient eyes filled with a mix of respect and caution, "you have changed the galaxy today. But change is a double-edged sword. Use it wisely." Leora nodded, her expression solemn. "We will, Elder Tovin. Humanity's goal has always been to build a better future, for ourselves and for the galaxy." The Predator's legacy. As Leora left the chamber, she felt the weight of the galaxy's gaze upon her. Humanity had revealed its true nature, and the Concord would never be the same. Part 2, The Seating Chart Conspiracy. The Gala Preparations. The Quincentennial Harmony Gala was the most prestigious event in the Galactic Concord's calendar, a celebration of unity and diplomacy. Every species, from the crystalline Zinnerans to the gelatinous Krell, was invited. The gala was meant to be a symbol of peace, but for humanity, it was the perfect cover for their next move. Ambassador Leora Vance stood in her office, reviewing the seating chart with a sly smile. "They think this is about pheromones and taste receptors," she muttered to herself. Little do they know, this seating chart is the key to exposing the entire criminal network. The dispute begins. Representative Valen of the Adian species stormed into the planning committee meeting, their forked tongue flicking in agitation. "This is unacceptable," they hissed, their scales shimmering with anger. "The humans cannot be seated near us. Their pheromones will ruin the entire event." Leora, ever the diplomat, responded with a calm smile. "Representative Valen, I assure you, we have no intention of causing discomfort. Perhaps we can find a compromise that works for everyone." The hidden agenda. What the committee didn't know was that the seating chart was a carefully crafted map. Each seat placement corresponded to a key player in the criminal network. By positioning human operatives strategically, Leora and Commander Jackson Hale aimed to gather critical intelligence during the gala. Operative Mira Cade, a human intelligence agent, was already embedded within the gala's staff. Disguised as a server, she moved through the halls, her sharp eyes scanning for targets. "The Adians are just the distraction," she whispered into her comms. "The real players are in Sector 12. The mediator's role." Arcturian mediator Taylor, a species known for their ability to diffuse tension, stepped in to calm the growing dispute. "Perhaps we can adjust the seating to accommodate everyone's needs," Taylor suggested, their harmonic voice soothing the room. Leora nodded in agreement, but her mind was elsewhere. She knew the real battle wasn't in the committee room, it was in the shadows, where humanity's operatives were closing in on their targets. The operatives' discovery. As the committee debated, Mira Cade made her way to Sector 12, where the criminal network's leaders were seated. Using a concealed scanner, she gathered data on their communications and transactions. The information flowed to Commander Jackson Hale, who monitored the operation from a hidden command center. "We've got them," Jackson said, his voice steady. "Their entire operation is mapped out. All we need is the final piece." The final piece. That final piece came in the form of a data chip, smuggled into the gala by a low-level criminal. Mira intercepted the chip, her training allowing her to move undetected. "Got it," she whispered, slipping the chip into her sleeve. Back in the committee room, Leora's comms buzzed softly. She excused herself, stepping into a quiet corridor. "We have everything we need," Jackson's voice came through. "It's time to make our move." The revelation. Leora returned to the committee room, her demeanor calm but her eyes sharp. "Representative Valen," she said, addressing the Adian, "I believe we've found a solution to our seating dilemma. But I must warn you, there are far greater concerns at play tonight." The room fell silent as Leora activated a holographic display, revealing the criminal network's operations. This is not just about seating arrangements, she continued. This is about the safety and security of the entire Concord. The galaxy's shock. The committee members stared in stunned silence as the hologram displayed evidence of corruption, trafficking, and illegal activities. Representative Valen's scales paled, a sign of shock in their species. "How did you uncover this?" they asked, their voice trembling. Leora smiled, her expression a mix of pride and determination. "Humanity may be new to the Concord, but we are not naive. We see what others overlook, and we act when others hesitate." The Predator's patience. As the committee processed the revelation, Leora's comms buzzed again. It was Jackson. "The criminals are making their move. We need to act now." Leora nodded, her gaze steady. "Ladies and gentlemen," she said, addressing the committee, "the gala will proceed as planned. But tonight, the Concord will witness the true strength of humanity. The stage is set." As the committee dispersed, Leora took a moment to compose herself. The gala was no longer just a celebration, it was a battlefield. And humanity was ready to show the galaxy what it meant to be an apex predator in Diplomat's clothing. Part 1, The Diplomatic Masquerade. The arrival of humanity. The Galactic Concord had stood for millennia, a beacon of unity among countless species. When humanity joined, they arrived with all the subtlety of a supernova, loud, curious, and disarmingly charming. Ambassador Leora Vance, the face of humanity in the Concord, was the perfect embodiment of this paradox. With her warm smile and sharp wit, she quickly became a fixture in the grand halls of the Concord station. The Concord's curiosity. High Counselor Zanara, a being of crystalline structure, observed the humans with a mix of fascination and suspicion. "They consume toxins for pleasure," Zanara remarked to Under-Secretary Krell, their gelatinous form rippling with amusement. "Yet, they submit the most meticulously researched proposals. What are they hiding behind the scenes?" What the Concord didn't see was the quiet efficiency of Commander Jackson Hale, the human military liaison working in the shadows. While Leora charmed the galaxy, Jackson and his team uncovered a sprawling criminal network operating within the Concord. From illegal tech trafficking to sentient being smuggling, the network's reach was vast. The first move. Leora's diplomatic prowess was unmatched, but it was Jackson's intelligence that set the stage for humanity's first major move. "We need to expose them," Jackson said during a covert meeting. "But we can't do it alone. We need the Concord to see the threat for themselves." The diplomatic dance. As Leora navigated the intricate web of galactic politics, she planted subtle hints about the criminal network. Her charm disarmed potential adversaries, while her strategic mind laid the groundwork for what was to come. The galaxy saw a bumbling newcomer, but beneath the surface, humanity was anything but naive. The calm before the storm. The Concord station buzzed with activity as preparations for the quincentennial Harmony Gala began. Little did the galaxy know, this seemingly mundane event would become the stage for humanity's grand revelation. A predator's patience. As Leora sipped her coffee, a human habit that baffled most species, she exchanged a knowing glance with Jackson. The pieces were in place. The galaxy was about to learn that humanity's charm was merely the mask of an apex predator. Part 3, The Predator's Gambit. The gala begins. The quincentennial Harmony Gala was in full swing, a dazzling display of interstellar unity. The grand hall shimmered with light, the air filled with the hum of conversation and the subtle sense of 100 different species. Ambassador Leora Vance moved through the crowd with practiced ease, her smile warm but her eyes sharp. She knew the real event was about to begin. The trap is set. Commander Jackson Hale watched from the shadows, his command center hidden deep within the Concord station. The holographic display before him showed the movements of every key player in the criminal network. "All units, stand by," he said, his voice calm but commanding. "We move on my signal." Operative Mira Cade, still disguised as a server, circulated through the crowd, her scanner hidden in a tray of refreshments. She paused near a group of aliens, her eyes narrowing as she detected a hidden weapon. "Targets are armed," she whispered into her comms. "Proceeding with caution." The provocation. Leora approached High Marshal Dravik of the Volter Dominion, a species known for their predatory instincts. "Marshal Dravik," she said, her tone respectful but firm, "I believe we have a mutual interest in ensuring the safety of this event." Dravik's feathers ruffled slightly, a sign of curiosity. "What do you mean, Ambassador?" Leora activated a small holographic display, showing the criminal network's plans to disrupt the gala. "These individuals intend to use tonight's event as a cover for their operations. I suggest we prepare for their arrival." The galaxy's response. Dravik's eyes narrowed, his predatory instincts kicking in. "You've known about this threat and said nothing until now?" Leora met his gaze without flinching. "We needed to gather all the evidence before acting. Now, we have everything we need to neutralize the threat, but we need your help." "The Alliance." Dravik hesitated, then nodded. "The Volter Dominion will assist. But know this, Ambassador, if this is a trick, there will be consequences." Leora smiled, her expression unreadable. "Understood, Marshal. Let's show them what happens when predators work together." The signal. As Leora and Dravik finalized their plans, Jackson gave the signal. Human operatives, disguised as gala staff, moved into position. The trap was set, and the criminals were walking right into it. The attack. The first sign of trouble came when the lights flickered, a deliberate move by the criminals to create chaos. The crowd murmured in confusion, but Leora remained calm. "Ladies and gentlemen," she said, her voice amplified by the hall sound system, "please remain calm. This is a minor technical issue, and we are resolving it." Her words were a signal to the human operatives. As the criminals moved in, they were met with swift and precise resistance. The Predator's strike. Mira Cade disarmed an Adian assassin with a single, fluid motion, her training evident in every move. Nearby, human marines in tactical gear emerged from hidden passages, their presence a shock to the criminals. "What is this?" one of the criminals demanded, his voice trembling. "This," Leora said, stepping forward, "is the consequence of underestimating humanity. The galaxy's awakening." The Concord security forces, led by Marshal Dravik, joined the fray. Together, humans and Volterians moved with coordinated precision, neutralizing the threat with minimal disruption to the gala. As the last criminal was subdued, the hall fell silent. The galaxy's representatives stared in awe at the humans, their perceptions shifting in real time. The revelation. Leora stepped onto the stage, her presence commanding attention. "Ladies and gentlemen," she began, "tonight, we have shown that humanity is more than just a newcomer to the Concord. We are protectors, allies, and, when necessary, predators." Her words hung in the air, a declaration that would echo through the galaxy. The aftermath. As the gala resumed, the mood was different. The humans, once seen as naive and inexperienced, were now viewed with a mix of respect and caution. In the shadows, Jackson watched the crowd, a satisfied smile on his face. "Well played, Leora," he murmured. "Well played. The Predator's legacy." The galaxy had witnessed humanity's true nature, and nothing would ever be the same.